Hey everyone, welcome to my cooking quarantine Instagram. Let's just say I love to cook, always have. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to just cook all the things I've wanted to try. So I just wanted to share a couple of my favorite recipes with you. This one that we're doing today is a chicken bacon lemon creamy pasta. It's delish. And it's one of my favorite comfort foods, so let's get into it. First things first, we're going to wash our hands. Most important part, obviously. And then we're just going to get our chicken out and get it ready to go. This was one of the chicken packets I bought from Walmart. It came individually wrapped with 5 pieces of chicken. And then we're just going to get some whole wheat flour out, put on a plate, because what we're going to do with this chicken once it's open and clean is get it out and just flour it. No panko breadcrumbs, stuff like that, just flour it. So just got the seasoning down. We're going to season this with some garlic powder and black pepper. I mean, those should be your go-to 2 things. I would usually use more, but this is like a very creamy sauce, so I feel like you don't need to overpower the chicken. And then always wash your chicken, even if it's wrapped up in a container. Just always better to put safety first. Then we're going in with the garlic powder and the black pepper. So good. And make sure you get both sides. And the most important part about all this is just making sure that you are washing your hands after you touch things. Like, if you're just touching the chicken, that's fine. But just make sure that you're always washing your hands, because chicken juice is gross. And then just flouring up the chicken, rolling it in the whole wheat flour, up and down. Just making sure you cover the whole thing, get in the little crevices. You don't want any open spots. It's a beautiful day out today, so you can hear the cars going by. Now we're going to move on to the bacon portion. Going to get about 6 or 7 pieces of bacon, and then we're going to cut it up into the smaller pieces. Super simple. I mean, the bacon for me makes this recipe fattening, all that jazz, but it's still delicious. I can get with a nice crispy bacon. And then, just putting the leftovers, I think there's about half of the bacon left over, so you have the half to use whatever you want. And then just cutting up into little, I'd say like inch pieces, and then cutting them in half. They don't have to be super tiny, because remember that bacon shrinks up anyway when you're cooking it. Especially me, I like to really crisp up my bacon. That's just the kind of person I am. I don't know how people eat like undercooked bacon. Then we're gonna get out my cast iron skillet. I cannot tell you how much I love a cast iron skillet. I cook everything in it. Everything. It's my favorite thing. And then, just cook up our bacon in the cast iron. You don't really have to put any oil in with it, because it cooks all the fat out of it. And then we're just going to get a huge pot, fill it up with water. That's going to be for our pasta. Put a lid on and get it boiling. Cheers. See that? And then just make sure our bacon is cooking. Oh, and this is another thing I love to do. So obviously this is our Method non-toxic all-purpose cleaner. I always feel like I touch too many things with chicken juice on my hands, so what I just did is I cleaned off my seasonings. I feel like that's just so much better. Alright. Pasta water's boiling. Getting the bacon out. You don't want to have all the fat in the bacon still, so I am putting a paper towel down just to make sure that we can avoid all the excess oil that we're taking out. But we're going to leave a majority of the oil, or not the oil, the fat left from the bacon in the pan, because as you can see, we're cooking our chicken in the bacon fat. Delish. Water's boiling, so then we're going to get our pasta started. We're only using half of the spaghetti, Walmart brand, because it's just as good and cheaper. And then salting our water, because you always want to salt your pasta water. Always should. And then cook that for 10 minutes, and just make sure all your pasta is incorporated into the water, because sometimes there's little stragglers and you don't want hard pasta, obviously. And then just going in, making sure we're cooking our chicken. I like the chicken really crispy. That's just me. Oh, there's Nate. Here he is, singing. We're having a little jam session while I was cooking. This is one of his favorite meals. So yeah, just make sure your chicken's really crispy before you take it out. You can leave it a little undercooked because later on you'll see that we will do something in order to cook it all the way through, but I cook it all the way through anyway. So now we're taking a cup of chicken broth and just putting it in our pan. Turn down your temperature a little bit. Then roll your lemon. Squeeze in half a lemon of lemon juice. And then a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of butter, whatever you prefer. And then just let that cook a little bit. And then after this, we are going to put in our pepper, a little bit of seasoning, and then make sure everything's mixed up. And then once your butter melts, we're going to add in a cup of heavy cream. So once you have the heavy cream in, it's just going to we'll need to thicken up a little bit. So just keep mixing everything in and then let it cook a little bit because you're going to want it to just thicken up because it makes it so much better. And you don't want everything to be mixed in together. So then after all the cream has been mixed in, it's getting a little creamy, looks like pasta sauce, you add that bacon back into the sauce. Oh my god, it looks so good. I'm so hungry right now. And then we're going to add our chicken back into the pasta. Now, here is where if you didn't cook your chicken all the way through or you just want to finish it up in here, you can let your chicken finish cooking in here. I cook it all the way through because I am just more nervous about most things. I like to cook the chicken all the way through anyway. Ooh, a little splash there. And yeah, so my big thing is that just making sure your chicken has a sauce on it. I think it just makes it taste better in the long run because just putting the chicken on top of the pasta, I feel like wouldn't be as good. So now that it's cooked in there for a little bit, got the seasoning, got the flavor, we're going to dump the rest of the pasta sauce onto our pasta, mix it in. Nate's ready to eat, and this is our final product. It looks delicious. I'm so hungry. Look at the bacon, so crispy. Ugh. This is so quick too. It's so easy. It only took a couple minutes. You know, chicken, bacon, lemon pasta. If you want the direct ingredients, I'll send them to you. Thank you. Let me know what recipes you want to see.